after each candidate has had a chance to speak, we can always have just a mingle and a hello and maybe a few questions just around the room. Also, there's some goodies and treats and refreshments in the back for everyone afterwards. So whoever would like to go first, it's very informal.
You're used to first.
I'm used to going first.
Yeah.
You're used to going first.
Okay. As a reference to the
So you must be
alphabetical order.
Alphabetical, maybe that's the way to do it, alphabetically.
Yeah, I got to tell you, my last name is Ainsworth, and all my life, you know when you go to school and everything else, the teacher always says, we're going to start with in alphabetical order, and that's gone on all my life, and it hasn't stopped, because that's still been going on during the election too, so anyway. Even my colleagues here are deferring to me because of my name starts with A. And that's the only reason they defer to me, though, I'm sure. So anyway, just a little background. My name's David Ainsworth, and I'm with the People's Party of Canada, and this is a brand new party. And I'm new to politics in the area. I have been a resident of Renfrew County for 45 years. Moved up. My mother, I'm fourth generation resident actually on my mother's side. I don't know if any of you remember in Eganville there used to be a store called Strickland Supermarket. That was an uncle and an aunt. So anyway, my roots are in Eganville in that area, but my background is a military kid. But I did settle in Eganville. My wife and I got a hobby farm. We raised our family there, and she was a teacher, and I was an entrepreneur. So my interest in life was starting and running businesses, and in this county, learned a lot. And a lot of those lessons I feel will stand me in good stead to help develop the economy in this area. We know that there are challenges in jobs, and keeping young people here, and attracting young people to the county. It's a huge job, and it's not going to be easy. So I feel some of my skill sets will help in that matter. After I retired, I did start two businesses and run them. They were very substantial, fairly substantial for the area, and you know, that was an enjoyable exercise, and it was a lesson in developing teamwork. You can't run a business, and these businesses were started by scratch with two of us. And two of them ended up being 120 employees. So they were not small businesses. And one was Procam Steel Products out of Pembroke. It was Eganville and then Pembroke. And that went till 1984 actually. And we got wiped out in the Great Recession. And went in. You must remember when your mortgage rates were 19–20% back in the 80s. That was a real tough time for everybody. Second business was a 16-year duration. We made mantles. The company was Visan Designs in Renfrew, and we ended up employing about 125 people before the doors were closed because the Chinese came in and took over our customers. So that's life. So I did, after I retired, start a speaker series called the Need to Know Speaker Series, and I met an awful lot of people. I would bring in speakers to Renfrew, the O'Brien Theatre, and to the Neat Cafe, and I got to meet a lot of very interesting people covering topics that were very, sometimes controversial. Climate change, feminism, the role of Canada's military, electric cars, a number of things that we covered. And this inspired me actually to sort of put my comments and my opinions and everything else to maybe to public use. So when the People's Party started about a year ago, it was a breakaway party from the Conservative Party of Canada, which is led right now by Andrew Scheer. So everybody, I'm sure you're familiar that there was a leadership convention about a year or so ago, and Maxime Bernier and Andrew Scheer, they faced off against each other, and Maxime Bernier had the nomination till the 13th round, when he lost it to Andrew Scheer. So after that, he stuck around for about a year, but it was made clear that his views of how politics should be done in Canada were not accepted by the Conservative Party of Canada. So he formed his own party, and we now we are the fastest growing party in the history of Canadian politics. So in 1 year, we have approximately 41,000 members, and we also are running in about 322 ridings in this federal election. So we're a national party, and in terms of where we're positioned, You have the NDP, which historically is on the left. You have the Liberal Party, which under Justin Trudeau has moved into NDP territory and it is somewhat left of center. You have Andrew Scheer's party, which is more center in that area, or trying to be. And then you have the People's Party of Canada, which is right of center. So we are your kind of traditional conservative party. We call ourselves the New Blue. All right? Now that doesn't mean to say we're a bunch of mean people who hate immigrants and all this other stuff. It really means, and why I find it very appealing, is the principles of personal responsibility and freedom, fairness, and respect. Those are the principles that guide our policies. And they just happen to line up with the principles that I've run my life with. These were principles that were taught to me by my parents. And we're not that far removed in age. I'm sure you grew up on those same principles. So this was the first time I found a party that I could support politically. So I decided to throw my hat in the ring for the nomination. I won the nomination, and now I'm in this election campaign, and I'm hoping to come out at the end of the day as MP for the area. So the People's Party of Canada, we really stand for getting this economy going. So we're the richest, one of the richest countries in the world in terms of resources and people and space and everything else. We have a wonderful thing going here, and everybody wants in on it. You know, who wouldn't want? If you ask people around the world where would they like to move, Canada is right top of choice and everything else, and there's a reason. Our ancestors have worked really hard. So our party is saying, look, it took hard work to create it. It's going to take hard work to save it. The work never ends. So we want to get the economy going so that it can cover the social programs that we're now carrying and offering our citizens. Senior citizens like yourself, disabled people. If you look around and you see how much government support is available, I know all you hear is that we need more support. But if you look around and you see the number of people that are providing services to citizens, it's a wonderful thing. It's an amazing thing. And there's no end to the needs. But there is an end to money. There is an end to money someday. We all know that as families. There's only so much we have that we can afford. So we're not looking at cutting all kinds of social programs. We're looking at getting rid of programs that do not make sense and do not and just cost money. Programs that have grown up in spite of themselves. But we're looking at generating an economy that will pay for these social programs and even offer to pay for more as we go along. So we're about reducing the debt. I'm sure in your financial planning, it's important that you're not leaving all kinds of debts for your children and everything else, and I'm sure you taught them to manage their budgets. We want to do the same thing. So I'm going to wrap up now, but our party is really about getting the economy going so that we can afford what we currently have on offer. You know we have a $700 billion debt right now. You know that the Trudeau government and the Scheer government proposed to add another $80 billion to that in the next 4 years. And we're saying no. We're saying no, we can't afford to do that. We have to stop sometime. So this is a sort of a line in the sand we've drawn. So personally, from my side of things, my intention in this riding is to get jobs going and redevelop the economy and energize people. So anyway, we'll be, in terms of seniors, what do we have to offer seniors? We're lowering taxes. We're lowering taxes and we're going to a flat tax system. So there's going to be savings in your pockets. And another big one is we're going to get rid of capital gains. So if you have investments and everything else and you cash in these investments, or your family does, there's going to be, we're working to zero taxes on that. That used to be the way it was up until 1972. There was no capital gains tax, but they added it on and they expanded it ever since. So everything you worked hard for all your life, if it's not your principal residence, when you sell it, you pay up to 50% tax. You already paid taxes your whole life as you paid your way, and then you get hit again for working hard. That's part of our, it's not fair, part of our principles. So seniors, we want to make sure utility costs are low, so get rid of this carbon tax. We are not in agreement with what's going on in terms of the climate change debate. So we're saying Canada needs to burn fossil fuels to float our economy. And it's crazy to think that wind and solar are going to displace fossil fuels. It's just not gonna happen, and you're hearing more of this all the time now. So we gotta keep our costs low so that we can afford to live. We can afford to heat. Things like this. So we're at a crossroads. I'm hoping you will consider the People's Party of Canada on October 21st. Hope you'll consider me. Thank you very much.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm Dan Criger, and I'm running as an independent conservative. Like many of you, I'm concerned about our future, and I want a strong and stable environment for us and our children. As a country, we need to do this by living within our means. Since the election has been called, all the parties have made billions of dollars in promises to every group and organization and to every person in this country. But not one of them has told me where that money is going to come from. Canada does not have an income problem, but we do have a spending problem. And we have to get our priorities straight. I'm giving you a speech right here that's written, and I know that each and every one of you could probably tell me more about an election than what I know right now today. You've been through so many. There's been a lot of issues over your lifetimes, situations that have happened, needs that each and every group has in every, excuse me, in every area. I think what you want to know today is not policies or anything like that, or what this group or what this party's going to give you or what that party's going to give you. You want to know about me, the individual. You want to know about the other individuals. Whether or not we will keep our word to you. I will. As an independent, I can and I will represent exactly what you tell me to do in Ottawa. Like I said, I'm running as an independent conservative, which basically means I'm not with the Conservative Party, but I align with conservative values. A little bit about myself. In grade 11, I dropped out of high school. My wife, at the time, we'd only known each other about a month. We went to St. Catharines, Ontario. I got a job in a department store selling shoes part-time. We struggled. I know what it's like to struggle for families and that. That company was called Steinberg's Limited. They owned a chain of department stores. They owned a chain of grocery stores. They saw in me something of value, something that they could use and mold and generate a good person into. They put me into an accelerated management training program. Immediately it went from steps to full-time to supervisor to department head to assistant store manager and stuff like that. Then Loblaws come along. They owned a chain of department stores in Toronto as well. They had issues with running department stores. They knew groceries, but they did not know department stores. They hired me on at 26 years of age after going through the training programs. They put me in charge of one of their largest department stores in Toronto at that time. I don't know if any of you have been to Pembroke, the Walmart there. It's a big super center. Put another floor on top of that. That'll give you some perspective of the type of operation I was running at 26 years of age. So I spent about 8.5, 9, almost 10 years in senior management with that department store chain. We adopted, my wife and I adopted a boy. He was 3 weeks old at the time. By the time he was 2, my management responsibilities were making it that I only seen him on Sundays. To me, that was no way to raise a family. I told my wife, that's it, no more. I went into the head office and told them, that's it, boys, I'm out of here. I gave them the keys. figuratively speaking. We left and came to Petawawa, Ontario. There was a small little grocery store there for sale, had been bankrupt, closed for a year. I bought it sight unseen. My wife and I opened it. We decided we'd run it as a convenience store. We opened 2 more within a couple of years. We also, because of my ambitions in retailing, we opened up a clothing store. Then we opened up a mail order company. This is before the internet and all that was popular. We operated those companies over a period of time for 40 years, successfully. We employed hundreds and hundreds of people through all these businesses. A lot of them were students who've gone on. Some of them are nurses. Some are they're in management positions, executive positions throughout Renfrew County and stuff like that, different homes and municipalities. A lot of them have gone down to the U.S. and around the world. Some of them still keep in touch with us. One of the things with the younger people that were students that we insisted upon when they worked for us was education. And that is because when I dropped out in grade 11, I knew at that time it was a big mistake. I could have went way further, way faster at that time. So we made it a policy of our companies that any student working for us had to maintain their grades at 80% or more, or we cut their hours back. We did not have one student that dropped out of school. We did not have one student that came in at less than that. They worked, they strived, we tried to instill that in them. I'm trying to give you some insight as to my character, what we're like, how we think. Over the 40-year period in Petawawa, the community was really, really good to us. They supported us. At this stage of my life, it's time for me to give back. I believe that I can make a difference in Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke. As an independent, I can do that by doing what the people of the county want, the riding. Most get really dry here. Just excuse me for 1 second. As an independent, I can put forth exactly what the people of the riding tell me to do. No party leader will tell me how to vote for you in Parliament. No party leader, no organization, no big financial supporters will be able to sway me from my goal of representing the people of Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke. I know that all of you probably have a family here, relatives and stuff like that. They're the same people that I am going to represent, everyone. It doesn't matter whether they're NDP supporters or Green Party supporters or PPC Party supporters or Liberal or the Conservative Party. It doesn't matter what their political ideology is. I have my own. My own is the people that I'm going to represent. So everything that those groups have that's good, I will support. If there's stuff in there that is not going to work for the people of the riding, then I'm not going to support that. It has to be good for the people of this riding, and it has to be good for the people of Canada. And that is one thing I promise you, as myself, I will not ever break my word on that. Thank you.
My name is Kumar. That's what I like to be called because that's easy to call. My first name is Dheerendra. I am physiotherapist at Pembroke Regional Hospital. I immigrated from India in 2009 with my wife and son. My son is 13 plus year of age. He's in grade 9. My wife is also a physiotherapist. She works 3 days in Pembroke, 2 days in Renfrew. Why I am running for election? You know why Justin Trudeau came in the power. People were not happy with the Harper government, the way he was functioning, so they brought Justin Trudeau. And I was very happy. This guy is going to do something. I was waiting for 1 year. The day he was elected, I was so happy, so happy. Something good is going to happen in Canada, and I'm going to see that. I waited for 1 year, and I realized this is not guy who is going to do anything good. And I don't know what is your view. I don't feel proud of any of his activity so far. And what I believe, I believe in old school of thought. If something is wrong anywhere, and if you can fix it, better you go and fix it. Otherwise, don't complain. I thought I can fix it. That's why I'm here. I'm running for the election. And I'm running for election as an independent candidate from Renfrew, Pembroke, and Nipissing. Why independent? Because I don't want myself to be involved and attached and associated with any political party, whether they are party A, party B, or party C. What happens? The party leader will say to his or her member of parliament what to do, when to raise your hand, when clap, and when you can thump on your table. I am not that person. I can't do that. I am 47 years of age. Once I like to see in the mirror, I don't want to speak lie to myself. I don't want to hate my face because I have done something wrong. I don't want to do anything wrong. And I will give you a very simple example. Once I was doing my physiotherapy in the University of Calcutta, I met with Mother Teresa. So her head office was there in Calcutta, and she was working with the Missionary of Charity, and everybody know her in the world. And people of my age, they feel she is a symbol of humanity. She is also the symbol of Christianity. And that's what everybody, we don't feel that she is not there. We still feel she is there. We can feel it like she is there. So I'm inspired by her work in India and how much she has worked for the people. So once I completed my physiotherapy program, I was working in the capital city of India for 15 years, 16 years. So I was doing the volunteering with one of our organizations named Center for Destitute. So it's all poor people, they have some kind of disability, and you know there is not much resources in India even those days and even now. So people used to be there. My work was there to take these people and try to refer them to somewhere where they can get some services, say artificial limb, walker, cane, or something like that. I was not paying money from my own pocket, but I did that. So that's the reason I keep that in my mind, serving the people, and I know I can't do that service if I join any political party. And if I win this election this time, I'm not going to join any political party in my life. What is my election agenda? What is my platform? So I work as a physiotherapist. I see the seniors people all day. So you can say I survive, my living is depend on the seniors. If the seniors are not there, I will be homeless, I will be like jobless, you name anything. So I love seniors. So I am looking for more long-term care beds for the seniors in our riding, and we don't have much. And as you may be aware of, people have to wait 3 to 5 years to go to the long-term care bed, to get the long-term care bed. That's not acceptable. You know yourself how much hard work you have done, how much tax you have made, what is your contribution for the society, what is your contribution for everything. And this is the time people like me and the people those who are there in the government have to take care of you. That's your right. We are not doing any favor. That's your right. And we have to deliver that. And I want to deliver that if you send me to the Ottawa. We need to have a child care center. And the child care center at the workplace. So if this is a hospital employing 100 people, we need to have a child care center there. So that it's easy, but I'm not saying give it for free. Because the moment you are saying we will give it for free, where the money is going to come? And I'm saying, okay, this is the government. Government should make the infrastructure. This is the place for the child care center. Now you charge from everybody at no loss, no profit basis. So if you say you require $1 million to run that center, you charge $1 million from everybody, and that way you can run. And you can sustain that for a longer time. That's my goal. Where you will get some other money to run the different affairs. I know we as a Canadian and knowing Mother Teresa is a giving society. We want to give to the people. But first, we have to take care of our own needs. First, we have to take care of our seniors. We have to take care of our veterans. We have to take care of our small kids. We have to take care of the people, those who are not having job. Unemployment rate is 7%. That means 7% people don't have job, no home, and obviously they are not in a relationship. By the time they are 24, 25 or 30 and they are not in a relationship because they don't have money, no job, nothing, that's not good. People, those who are going to the college qualification to become a teacher, they have to spend 6 years in the university to get the teacher's qualification. They have to wait for 4 years to get full-time job. That is not acceptable. We can do something about that. I want the illegal immigration, like the people that you are crossing from New York border and coming to the Quebec, stop for 5 years. Let's take care of our own needs. Then we'll think about somebody else. That's my agenda, and I don't know if you are going to like that or not, but that's my agenda. We live in the rural community. People do hunting. So maybe for some people it's for fun. For some people it's really the need to have a meat for their winter time. So we have to respect the lawful use of firearms in our riding. You want to take some water? I'm not used to speak so much.
Why usually you're a quiet guy?
Thank you. So, you know, we had a flooding in 2017 and 2019. I want to start a public inquiry, what was the reason, and if there was any human error, we need to compensate our people. And what to do in the future? Make a committee of the people, those who own the property both sides of the river, and let them regulate for 3 to 4 weeks during the spring season once the snow is melting. So they can regulate what is going on, and there should be some action plan. We can't be dependent on the government or government agency to manage the flood control. So we have to do something, so we can do that. That's my agenda. Our government, Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers, you know, they are responsible towards the Parliament. The Parliament is controlling how much money you are spending, how you are doing. They can ask them questions. And you have seen Justin Trudeau. Whenever they ask the question, what happened regarding this, they have no answer. Sometimes he just ignores their question. He don't feel like answering. That's not fair. That's insulting the people of Canada. And that should stop. The insurance company, if you pay for your car insurance, you don't know how much you are going to pay next year. At least I don't know. I want the transparency. I want all the information should be there on their website so that once you open, you know how much you are going to pay for next year or 5 years down the line. Loan. So you know the student and the farmers. Like another political party, I'm not saying give them free loan or free tuition fee. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, if a student is going to the university, pay them, give them a 0% interest for their loan, for tuition fee and whatever the cost for them to stay and do their university qualification. Once they complete their qualification and start getting job, then they can pay back. But we should not charge any interest from them. If you have say $1,000 or say $100,000 in your checking account, you don't get any interest. So we can make a law to the bank, certain amount of money you have to give to the student and also to the farmers with a 0 interest loan. And that the farmers, they are going to create job, they are going to produce food because we are not working in the farm, right? So we are dependent on them and it's going to help everybody. And that's going to generate the job. The students, once they complete their course, they will join the workforce and that's going to help us. So I think that's all about my platform. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, I would love to answer.